Hi guys, welcome to the next video. So today's Thursday. As I said, every Thursday I do have a video. Today it is, as promised, the freelance makeup kit on a budget. So I did want to talk about a couple of foundations that I really do think are worth the price, but I also wanted to talk about you're starting your journey. You know you're good at what you do. You've tried on your family and friends. They've all said you're really good. You've made the decision, I want to be a freelance makeup artist. So what should I do for foundations? So what I have learned over time is that, this is me personally, is what I used to do was go out in the very beginning and get, shade 1 to shade 20, light to the very darkest. And I found I was making mistakes in that I was wasting a lot of money, because a lot of the time I didn't have clients of that certain color skin tone, so a lot of my foundations would just sit there and sit there and sit there, and then it would kind of just go over time, things like that. So I do want to go through some Maybelline and some Wet n Wild. I've got Makeup Revolution and I've got Max Factor, and for me, when I was starting out, they were the ones I went for. So I wanted to go onto the pan sticks because they are so efficient, they're quick, they come in different colors. I wish they came in darker colors, I will say that. Go for Opal. Opal are amazing, but I do wish they cater to the darker tones, and I've said that before. I do have a Max Factor review, which I will put below. I did a couple of years ago, and it was literally a review of the 5 foundation sticks that I had. But going back to foundation, when you're in the beginning stages, you don't want to have tons and tons of kind of, things, all, tons of foundation that's taking up a lot of room in your kit. So what I did is I got a couple of these. I first of all realized I started to advertise, so that's one thing I want to talk about. So how I got kind of into all of this is that I started my own business cards, and I know that sounds really, really scary. Business cards, oh my god, I'm just starting out. But if you take a minute and think about it, a business card is just the offline version of a website. So all you're doing is advertising yourself. So you've got once you have your contact number, the name of your company, what you do, and your name. So I am, for example, Sarah. I have Sarah's Beauty. I'm a makeup artist. This is my contact details. That alone is your business card, and that's the basics of business cards. And what that is, it's just as I said, the offline version of advertising yourself. So get yourself out there. So going back to how that links into foundation is, what I did at the very beginning is, when I got a client, and this is after practicing on families and friends and getting confident to kind of get myself out there, is I would buy the foundation to the first couple of clients I was getting. So that's how I started out. So for example, I had an ivory tone client, so I got something along the lines of Kiko Milano. I think I actually got a Max Factor pan stick, but I was just mentioning Kiko Milano because of the tone that this particular bottle is. So my first was, she was like a Nouveau Beige, similar to my skin tone. And I got one of these, very cost effective. I think it was $4.99 on Amazon, and it is just so quick, really creamy consistency. Opal as well for the darker tones as well are amazing. But I got this, I got a lovely setting powder. It was really, really beautiful on her. What I do as well for setting powder is I only put it on the areas that you really do start to lose the foundation first, which is the nose and the mouth area. So I don't set the entire face with powder. Because I think then you take the shine completely off. So this is what I did. I got this for her, and it just glides on so nicely, really soft, doesn't dry, very, very blendable, doesn't take up a lot of time, or a lot of room in your kit, and I really, really found them useful. So over time, obviously, I got referred, very luckily, by her for a wedding, and then I started to get different tones. So again, I have kind of put below the review that I did on the entire Max Factor that I got. So this was the next one I got was Fair. So her bridesmaids were fair, so this is what I got. And this one, as you can see, I still use. I spray everything, 70% alcohol, keep in your kit constantly. I spray everything. So this is, you can see the kind of slight difference in tone, paler, more of a yellow tone, and you've got that darker kind of orange tone underneath. So there are the two of them side by side. Very, very similar, but it's only when you get up close. If I do there's that one, and that one is Nouveau Beige, as you can see. And now we've got Fair that I'm going to put right next to it. Look at the difference. Can you see? Look at that difference. So huge differences there. But you get what you pay for. It's really long wearing. It's thicker, so put it on light if the person has really, really beautiful skin and doesn't really need a lot. But you have that kind of medium to light coverage, which is great. And it is light resistant, things like that. It does stay on in flashes and things like that. It doesn't come off flashy is what I mean. So they were what I kind of started with, because they were my 2 clients. And then I started to pop my cards, you know, just this was before, you know, huge social media, which is now amazing. Get yourself out there, create a page, create a blog, link it to your Facebook profile so all your current friends can see it. Share, share, share is the big thing. So yes, so when I started to kind of get really kind of more clients as such, I started to kind of go into different brands. Another brand I got was Wet n Wild, and they came in various shades, so they were great. Had to be very careful. It's a glass bottle, but they're great. This is one that I use, and I think I gave away in my giveaway a couple of months ago. I gave away a different tone because I hadn't been using it and it wasn't really in my kit as such. So this is the foundation Photo Focus from Wet n Wild. I got it for $4.99 on Amazon, and this is soft beige, and that's what that looks like. And it does have a dabber, so it's not something that you take. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so and then you have it here like that. So you get a lot for your money. Look how much that is, guys. So again, this was $4.99. I will link it below. It may have gone up in price, but not too much. Doesn't break the bank. And as you see, a lot goes a long way. So if that was on a face, a client's face, you'd be covering cheeks, you'd be covering the kind of nasal area with that. You might have to go in again, but again, it's like a Shein, but it's not too shiny or glittery. So that was beautiful. And that really is something that is dewy as well. So it's a nice one. So then you're not breaking the bank with those foundations. So then I went into something that I had gone into so much makeup and bought so much makeup from this company anyway, which is Makeup Revolution. And this is their Conceal and Hydrate. And this is again in medium, and it was 0 to 6. So again, they have numbers. So this is F3 at the top, and you get 125 mils, and you get a lot in there, guys. So conceal and define, I've used it as concealer too. Again, if you do need additional concealer, depending on the age of the client, you may have to go in a bit with some separate kind of concealer, but it's a pump as well, so you don't lose too much. And here we go quickly. So just take it, and that's that. So that is I had to get this for a client. She was extremely fair. So this is something I went out and bought. And again, a little goes a long, long way. You guys, imagine that was a full face. I could certainly get the majority of the face covered with that. And again, very creamy, not drying at all, and very, very kind of dewy again. And then you can powder that down too. I would always also say powder down the areas that client needs. Don't powder the entire face. That's just something I learned over time that really worked, that I found anyway. Because we all have certain areas that we start to lose the makeup very quickly. It's not over, you know, and the usual areas we all have in common is the nasal, this area around here, the forehead, and sometimes just around the eye area. And so I will dab that as well. So that's what I did. So then I learned over time, you know, I'm getting all these foundations, and it is starting to build up, and my client base was getting kind of diverse in the sense of that I knew I needed long wear foundation, and I wasn't going to break the bank. Now this is a company that has been around for 50 years, and it is RCMA, and it is the Research Council of Makeup Artistry. So it's Vincent Keogh. This is what it looks like. This is the VK10, and I'm going to show you why I bought this. So the other thing I will say is look online, because I bought this on eBay from a lady who hadn't bought the wrong palette for her clients basically, and the tones were different. But if you look at this, you have every tone you could possibly want. Now RCMA are wax based, which means that it's very heavy coverage. RCMA was originally created for film, movies and theatres. So what that means is it had to be very heat resistant. So there's that plant-based wax in it. So it doesn't transfer very easily. It stays on the skin for a very long time. There's a little bit of a higher price. I got this on eBay, so that's why I will say look at areas, look at Gumtree, look at eBay, I have to say I've now been going to Beauty Bay a lot more than Amazon, because I've been finding I found 2 RCMA smaller palettes, and they were £15, which is for RCMA. If you know the company, it is quite good value, and this is what they look like. So the other thing I want to say about RCMA is, though, even though they're a wax based, if you put a foundation thinner, mix it up, you have a cream foundation straight away. You have a cream foundation. So again, they're concealers too. I mean, you get so much, guys. So if you're saying, the other thing you often hear me say is where I spend and I save is foundations, because they are the basis. You know, if your eyeshadow looks amazing and the foundation is coming off within half an hour, or it doesn't look right, or that you haven't got enough colors to make the color they are. So you could have foundations and you don't have the right color for that skin tone and you're panicking. This is where this comes in. Look at that, guys. I've mixed as well. I've mixed colors with that. And it is just a beautiful, beautiful palette. It doesn't take up too much room in your kit either. So you're starting out, you don't want to be carrying loads and loads of things. I would definitely start out, if you don't have the kind of access to RCMA, or you're still kind of on that road where you're going for the lower end, definitely Makeup Revolution, Max Factor, Kiko Milano, and Rimmel. They're all really, really good foundations. But I think the point I'm making with this is that it was originally made for movies, theatre. And what does that say straight away? That says heat resistant, because movies, you're going to have these cameras on you. You're going to have theatre lights are going to be coming down. So those actresses, singers in the theatre, they needed something that was going to last. And this is where RCMA comes in, and why it's been so popular and so useful for celebrities, for anybody who's wants a wedding day, that they just want to look amazing, prom, anything, guys. This is going to be successful. So RCMA palettes, amazing. Look at different websites. If you're starting off a palette and you're saying, I want more that I'm getting, Christmases, birthdays, ask for vouchers. If they say, what do you want this year? Tell them what you're doing. Tell them you're starting a business. Tell them, this is what I want. Could I get a voucher? I'd love it this year. I'm starting up my kit. Birthdays, I'd really love some help, maybe with my kit. I've seen this foundation, things like that. Ask away, and also research. Look at different brands. Look at sales. Sales are amazing. Summer sales. The other thing I will say is that sign up for Cult Beauty, sign up for all these beauty websites, because what happens is, guys, is that the minute you sign up and you're a new customer, you automatically usually get discounts. So they'll say, oh, buy this, new customer, 20% off a product. So even if you kind of register for different companies like that, or you have Beauty Bay, I know Look Fantastic, and what I have done is I got this, okay, and I've had it for a while. It's MAC. I know MAC is quite a high end. I went on to Look Fantastic and they said, oh, new customer discount 20%. So this was originally $48, and who's going to pay that for a setting spray? It's one thing to pay for a huge amount of colours, but for a setting spray, I got it for £15 again. So again, it's the Fix Magic Radiance. It's got vitamin C in there. It's lasted me months and months and months. This was last summer, and it's great. It's all day hydrating. £15, guys. And the only reason I got that is because I was a first-time customer. But still, look at summer sales, autumn sales, things like that. All those brands usually do a discount, so keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on those kind of things. But for foundations, what I did want to say is, do look at RCMA. They are an amazing company. I can't really fault them for anything. So these are the new ones. So they have Shinto. This is from the K. This is from the KO series here. So what I'll do is I'll open it up, and you can feel like straight away. They do have that wax-based feel, so you can see them there. So this is the KO version, so it's very different in tone, but what I love about RCMA is they do cater for the different tones, which is something that I really appreciate. And there's a lot of companies out there that don't, and I'm a firm believer in, catering for every skin tone, and especially when you're starting out, you don't know who's going to actually approach you. There may be somebody, and this is the really good thing, guys. Anybody of any ethnicity, or skin tone may contact you at any point in time. You don't want to have to go out and buy 20 bottles of, you know, different colors, and instead just have this in your kit. I mean, you know, amazing. And it's wax based, it's plant based, it's made for theatre, it's made for you know, heat based resistance occasions. So there you go. So you've got these, but hello, you've got all of this too. So I love this company, guys. They're diverse, they accept there's other, you know, there's so many skin tones out there, and I wish more companies did it. I'm so passionate about that. I wish more companies did this. But again, look at Opal. If you are, you know, a fan of the pan stick foundations, take a look at Opal. They're amazing. So another couple of things that you could do is look at other brands. So I have this is just the second, actually I got two. So this is a very fair edition. This is the series KA. So KA is the brightest, or I mean the lightest, and then you've got KO, which starts to transition into more of the caramel tones as well. And then I've got obviously the entire makeup artistry. Again, if you're asking where I got that and you're wondering, that was £35 on or eBay. She just hadn't got the right tone, so that's why I have that. And that's what that looks like. Again, you have so many colors there. I know I keep showing it, but I cannot stress enough, if there's something that you really want to invest in and you really want your customer to feel amazing, but feel amazing at 10 hours later. So what you want to do is, they're always going to love the face look straight away. They're like, oh my god, that's amazing. What you want to make sure, because you want to be referred, you want to be talked about in a positive way. And this is why I love this product, because this is going to stay on her face for 10 hours until she decides she wants to take it off. Again, wax-based, plant-based, all natural, but it was purposely made with film and heat resistance in mind. So, I mean, I would certainly just, you can see, sorry, it's not exactly, it's been, you know, it's used obviously because it's very popular. And these are the brand new ones I got. So if anything, guys, I would start off with Max Factor, Rimmel, Wet n Wild. I'll put some pictures up here. Makeup Revolution, and things like that. I want to show a again, this was a bargain I got. I didn't pay full price, and this is something that I did review, and that's the other thing I'll say, is that don't buy a product, put it in and go to her house and put on the makeup. Try it on yourself first. Always try the products, always, particularly foundations, always try them. Do they set on the skin right? Do they, you know, are they blending right over time? Do they stay on? Make sure that you have the experience, so you're not just looking at reviews, buying it and pushing it on someone else's face. Make sure you've tried it. Make sure you know from your experience, because then it may not work and you've already tried that and you haven't gone to her house or where you're going to be doing her makeup, and it's failed and there's disappointment, and you know, you're kind of embarrassed because you were there to make her look amazing, and you know you have the talent, you know you can do it, but the foundation has let her down. So always try out these foundations, whether it's Rimmel, Maybelline, MAC, anything like that. Try it out on yourself first. So this is again another example of, not this one, sorry, another example of bargains. So this is a company here that are high end, but the only reason I'm showing them is to make the point about always register, guys. Register for all of these online cult beauties, beauty bays. I'm sure there's other ones. You know, register, because this again is NARS, and I got this again for, and I'm looking at them now because I've written them all down, £18 NARS. And the only reason I got that is because I got in, so as well as kind of joining these, register for their newsletter, because this is how I found out. Newsletter said 20% summer sale off, you know, and it had like a certain amount of time. So I looked in and I looked at NARS because it came up, you know, as you may be interested in, and of course I'd never bought anything from NARS before, and again £18, and it's originally 38. So, you know, it's just, look at these things, guys, because you're building a kit then. So this thing that I will say is that, you know, foundation palettes are hit and miss, because you can get a foundation palette from different companies and they may look the same, but they may not do the same job. So Graftobian are another company that do very similar consistency, and this has been around first. This was kind of the original wax-based product. So if you want to even do theatre makeup and you're trying to, because that can be kind of a hard kind of kit to kind of build, because it's perfect. It was made for theatre, it was made for film. So what I would say is that's perfect for special occasion, prom, wedding, because it's not going to go anywhere. So as you can see, I'm a highly invested person in RCMA, because they've really, and this wasn't anything that happened on purpose, but preliminary, I'm always booked for brides, which I don't mind, and the family and the mother of the brides too. So it's a whole day and you're really getting kind of into it. I am available to be booked for other things, but the majority of my clients are brides. So this is just something that screams, you know, bridal. You know, if you're in a play and you know that you need some sort of makeup that's going to stay all day, theatre, this is the one to get, even if you're not building a kit. But if you are building a kit and you want something quality, I would certainly invest in RCMA. So that's what I wanted to tell you about, guys. There's foundations out there that are high-end, low-end. If you are starting out, and I will put in Maybeline Fit Me foundation, if that's something that you want to do and you're not ready for something like this, and I am going to put it up because I've just run out of it. I had 6 colours and I've just run out of them. I'm going to put them up side by side. Maybeline Fit Me foundation are amazing. They have such a variety of colours. Everything you could really think of they have. You could always try to mix and match and get that just get that right colour for your client. And it's absolutely amazing. I really do feel like research is the key to foundation. Research and trials. Research the right foundations, trial it on yourself. So you're going in there and you've ticked that box. You know this person is going to have the right foundation. The other thing I'll say, and I am going to go into contracts as well as we go along this series, is always have a trial. So you've basically come out of that trial knowing, I know her skin type, I know her skin tone, I know what primer I should use, I know if she has sensitive skin, I also know what foundation, because we've tried those all tonight. So yes, you do the lashes and the eye look, but her foundation, her overall skin look and tone is correct right there. So yes, foundations, that's me today, guys. There are so many other really good cost effective companies out there. My personal favorite is the Fit Me foundation from Maybelline. I started out with that and I still have it in my kit. It literally has every color you could possibly want, and I will put them up here and link below where you can get them. They're in Superdrug, they're online, and they have their own Makeup Revolution website. I found them on Amazon. And yes, they would be I'm a huge fan of those too. So I will link below where I got Wet n Wild, where I got Kiko Milano. That's another one new to me too, as you saw in a couple of videos previous. I did do a Kiko Milano haul where I got their blushes and their contour, and I can't say how good this is. They do go into a higher price, so I would say they are kind of in between low and high end. The dearest I've seen so far for a foundation was £28, which for something like this, you could get, that's half of what you would get for this, which is every colour you need under the sun. So yes, definitely if you have the other thing is, if you're seeing a theme in skincare, these kind of things are amazing. The sticks are amazing, Opal, Max Factor, amazing. So if you're finding that your niche is starting to become fairer, or darker, stick to a certain brand. So Opal, I would say, if you're the darker side, because they are just amazing. Their sticks, they glide on so nicely, they blend amazingly. And then the Max Factor, if you've got that fairer skin as well, and they do the exact same thing, but I highly recommend Opal too. So that's the kind of, if you're finding, so going back to the reason I said that is, if you're finding that you have a specific skin client that keeps coming back, and if it is this, invest in the sticks, invest in the pan sticks. But if you really are kind of getting a versatile type of client, or you don't want to take that risk, because somebody could just call you and say, hey, my name is Sarah, you booked my friend Brittany, I'm actually, Asian, I'm, a different type of skin tone, can we come and do a trial? And you're looking at all these things and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't have that tone. This is where things like this come in really good, because don't forget what I said. If you put some foundation thinner, because they are so thick, it turns it into a cream foundation. So, and you don't need a lot. A little goes a long way. So you're thinking, this is wax, it's quite thick. What I'll do is I'll put some foundation thinner, amazing, guys. I can't rate this highly enough. So yes, but again, we've gone into some really cost-effective products today. Makeup Revolution, Max Factor, Opal. And there's the other thing that I would say is just really, you know, ask your family and friends for support. I'm starting out. This is my business. I'm really serious about this. I really want to do this. I want to make people look amazing. I have a passion for it. I know I'm talented. And you know, spread the word. Business cards can be scary because business cards, it almost kind of sounds so professional, and it is, but what you're doing is you're just spreading out the word. You know, it's just the offline version of what you would do. So ask, you know, stores, can I just put my card here? A lot of them are really understanding. And you know, for example, I'm going for a hair appointment on Wednesday, and I already called ahead and said, hey, I've got my appointment, could I leave my cards with you? So for example, I've left my juiceplus cards with them too, so health and beauty and things like that all in one. So I'm leaving my juiceplus card along with my makeup artistry card, and so clients will come in and they might just ask what it is, and there you go, word of mouth, spreading word of mouth, things like that. So it's really, really good. I hope that you found this helpful, guys. The next one will be on contracts, and then we're going to go on to eyeshadow palettes. Contracts are really, really important, and I have so much to say about that, guys. So that will be the next series. It's going to be on Thursday. I hope you found this useful, guys. If you have any questions whatsoever, I know a lot of you are asking about QC Makeup Academy. Let me know below. I'm really happy to answer your questions. And I will see you in the next video, guys. Have a great day.